Welcome. The Fresh Air is Overrated, the weekly source for anything gaming with Wild Matt and Curbs.
And Steiner.
Against Ann.
Yo, welcome to Fresh Air is Overrated. It is episode number 212. That's a lot of episodes. I just noticed that I did not configure my camera. Yay! Awesome. So I'm just going to go to Steiner.
Hello.
And then fix my camera while he's on.
Yeah.
Now.
So how's everything going?
It's going alright. How about you?
If you probably noticed that I'm in a different room.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So I moved all my shit from the basement to upstairs so that I could actually finish my basement properly with actual like painting stuff and stuff.
Cool. Yeah, because you've been talking about that forever.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Oh man, my camera is still all on the automatic stuff. Good stuff. I'm gonna get it figured out eventually here. Soon. Alright, I got it. I got it.
Okay. Sounds good.
It's hard. Alright, so hey, welcome. Fresh Air is Overrated, 212, Thursday, December 15th. Searcher.com, that's where you want to go to check out all our VODs and our MP3s. And if you have a podcast and you want to listen to it, anywhere that has podcasts, you'll probably find us because we're all over the place. Just search Fresh Air is Overrated. You'll find it. And then on YouTube, that's where we air live every Thursday. Mega Scorcher TV/live. That's what you add after YouTube.com. All right. And if you just follow us on YouTube, it'll just let you know anyways. So yeah, I'm all Matt. Steiner's over there. Somewhere in the world.
Somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere where it's very, very fucking cold.
How cold is it over there right now?
Feels like probably minus 29 Celsius.
Well, without the wind here, it's like minus 18, but there's a lot of goddamn wind.
Yeah.
So I don't know how cold it is with the wind chill.
Probably sounds about the same.
Yeah, it's probably about the same.
I think it's something about that. I think it's like minus 20. And then feels like minus 28 or something idiotically gay.
Wind is 30 kilometers an hour. I don't know what the gust is because I'm not looking at it. I'm just on Google. Thanks, Google, for your kind of information. There's like half of the information I want right there. Oh yeah, it feels like minus 30 right now. What the hell? What's going on?
It's winter.
Yep.
It is winter in Canada.
Mm-hmm. I was driving for Uber earlier and it was pretty busy, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be when it's that fucking cold.
Yeah. And now I'm in here where it's warm. I actually have to open up my window a little bit because my apartment's heated with water. Like
okay.
Those radiators on the ground, yeah. So it gets pretty hot. All right, let's go to games we're playing because I do have some stuff this week, which is crazy.
Holy shit, Matt played games?
Yeah, so let's just start with some PS4 stuff, the usual things. Battlefield 1. That's 3 weeks I've been playing that game now. And there's an update that just came out yesterday that I have not yet, haven't checked out. So I need to get to that soon. But yeah, we'll talk about the update in the news. There's quite a few things that they changed. All right, another thing I played is Super Mario Run. That's a Nintendo game. Whoops, here we go. I got it running here. Hey, yeah. What can I say? I played it at the Apple Store while my iPhone was getting fixed because it was broken. So getting that shit fixed. The battery swelled up and like my screen was all like wobbly. So I was like, hey, let's bring this shit in before my battery explodes or something. That could have been dangerous. Anyways. Super Mario, it's just he runs forever, and then you click on the screen to make him jump. It's pretty much like all the other runners that you would see on the internet or on the phones already. That's it. I know. That's pretty much all I had to say about it. You pay $10 to have the whole thing. If not, you play the first 4 levels.
That's insane that it's $10 for an iPhone game.
Nah, $10 is all right.
For a runner.
But that's Super
It's not like
Mario.
you're
It's-
actually.
But it's Super Mario though. It's totally Super Mario though. It's it's different. I want to play this. I had a lot of fun playing it. And there's a few things you get to do. Like every level has 5 coins you got to collect. A lot like other Mario games, but you need to do it over and over because it gets harder. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, whatever. It's Super Mario, but he runs. There you go.
Yeah, I get
And
really
that's it.
less.
That's all I got to talk about in terms
not.
of iPhone stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, and then the other things I have to talk about is VR stuff. I got to play a bunch of VR at my buddy's place. Shout out to Duncan, even though he's not watching this. Was so the first thing I'll talk about is Accounting. It's a game called Accounting, and it's not really about accounting. This is a free game from the guys who wrote what's it called, Rick and Morty. So if you like Rick and Morty, it's a lot of that same humor, just in a video game. It took me about 15 minutes to finish it, but there is a lot of dialogue, and if you want to listen to it all, a lot of it is funny. So you could just sit there and throw stuff around and listen to stuff while. But yeah, I figured it out pretty quick. The solution at the end, you just throw something at somebody, and he's like, "I'm pissed off," and then it's game over. No, that game was really cool. I mean, a lot of stuff in VR. It starts out you are an accountant at the beginning, but then it becomes something weird.
Okay.
And it turns out you were just in VR the whole time, anyways. So it's just So you're in VR in VR.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's like the Matrix.
kind of. Then I played something called The Lab, which is from Valve, which is pretty much in the Portal universe. I didn't realize that until closer to the end, because the portals you pick up in the actual game, they're just like globes. They look like globes that you pick up, and you just warp into them when you pick them up. They're not they're not blue or orange. GLaDOS comes up at the very end, and then she fucks your shit up, and then you're like, oh no, I'm stuck. And the very end of the game makes you believe that it's the start of Portal, because she entraps you in a room. Yeah. Anyways, you get to do a lot of stuff. There's a mini game. Well, there's some stuff where it's just like go to Venice, and then it's like, hey, cool, look, I'm in Venice. This is pretty cool. And then there's another one where it's just a scale model of the galaxy, or our galaxy, I suppose, or our universe, whatever the hell it's called, or whatever, the sun.
It would
and
be
our
the Milky
planets.
Way galaxy is our
Sure.
galaxy.
There you go, the galaxy. So there you go, whatever the hell we're in, and then whatever the sun, and then the 9 planets. I don't know if Pluto was even there, because I was concentrating on Earth, and you could pick up Earth, fuck it up from its rotation, just throw it away if you want. It's kind of funny, but it's just a lot of small things like that in the lab. It's nothing too crazy. The thing that's a game, it's an arcade machine, but it's funny, once you go to the arcade machine, it's just credits. You actually have to go to the globe that warps you into the game, and then you just pick up a ship, and then your hand is a ship that just keeps shooting forever. So imagine like a shooter, like a vertical scrolling shooter, but it doesn't scroll. You're just walking around in a room and shooting things that pop up occasionally and avoiding bullets. It's really cool. It makes you move a lot, and it's fun. You probably look ridiculous playing it, but while you're playing it, it's fun. That's what I have to say about the lab. I got to play a mini putt game. I don't even remember what the game title is, but I think it's the only mini putt game. It's free. It feels like what you want it to feel like. It's you look down, you putt, and then you're like, hey, cool, that's mini putt. I played 3 holes or something. I just wanted to play it just to be like, hey, cool.
Yeah.
And then Google Earth was honestly probably the sweetest thing I got to play out of everything.
So how does that actually, do you go into Street View and you can actually go look
Yes.
around? Or
Yes.
Okay.
So you start out looking at Earth, like Google Earth on the application, right? I have something called Microsoft Compatibility Telemetry using 100% of my disk right now. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Interesting.
What are you doing to me, Windows 10? Anyways, I got rid of it, and now it seems like it might be settling down. Because I noticed weird stuff was going on with my computer, and I was like, well, my hard drive must be going at 100% again. Windows 10, man, I'm just going to go back to Windows 7, to be honest. I'm just going to install Windows 7. I still have it. There you go. My disk is at 2% now. That's normal. All right. Fuck, man, it's ridiculous. I don't get it. Anyways. So Google Earth, no, it's kind of surreal, because just imagine Google Earth, it's just in VR.
Yeah.
The one thing is you can't put an address. So you have to zoom into where you're going. You have to know where you're going pretty much, right?
Mm.
You can't go like, this is my house, but bam, then go straight there. You have to go like, oh, okay, I guess this is close to where Canada is. Go, okay, this is where Ontario is. Okay, this is where, okay, there you go. There,
Yeah.
I found myself. And yeah, it's cool. You can see the cars. It's kind of surreal. And it makes Ottawa look huge when you're looking at it from that perspective. Because you're like towering above buildings. Like, I've been in tall buildings in Ottawa, but man, when you're above them, it's crazy.
Mm.
It's crazy. It's cool. That's the one thing I would suggest anybody doing. If you have a buddy with VR, tell him to get fucking Google Earth and you'll be right over. Because that's the thing. It's very mind-blowing. Like, the things you can see in Google Earth. The demo shows you a bunch of other places, like the Grand Canyon.
Right.
Tokyo. Tokyo is fucking insane. Like, looking at
Yeah.
it from a height is woo. You think Toronto's huge?
Oh no. Well. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Tokyo is just
In-
it's compact as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
everything.
In surface area, Toronto technically would be larger, but in actual, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
You think that there was
Density,
no
there's
green
no way
space
in
in
hell.
Toronto? Jesus.
yeah. In density, Tokyo is something different.
It is crazy. All right. Google Earth, it's just mind-blowing. Like, it's hard to explain. You just have to experience it, really, because it's just what you see on a regular screen, just in VR. Project Cars is I guess the realest thing I got to play in VR.
Mhm.
I guess it's the first actual racing game that I did get to play. I mean, I've played things that you were in a vehicle before, but not a racing game.
Okay.
And
Now, did you use the controllers
Yeah,
or an
yeah.
actual?
controller. You can't use anything except a controller or a keyboard unless you have a steering wheel.
Yeah, well,
Which,
that's what I. Did he have a steering wheel?
He does
Is
have
that-
a steering wheel, but it's not set up. So maybe next time.
I would probably find that that's probably the only way I'd ever play a racing game.
Even with I get it because you're in VR and you're looking at the dash and you want your hands up like they are in the game. I get
Yeah.
that, but at the same time, just doing it with a controller, it was still pretty cool. Like, what can I say about it? It's what I wanted it to be. I got to play around with what did I play? A Mustang. There you go. A Ford Mustang is what I chose. One of the new ones. And it felt pretty powerful just driving it around. I was scared for my life at times. I was like, wow, like this feels way different than playing a game on a screen.
Yeah, it would. It would.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because you would actually get a real sense of how fast you're actually fucking going.
Yeah, when you're coming up around a corner and you want to stop as fast as you can to go back as fast as possible right around that corner. Woo! Man, that is crazy in VR. It's fun though. It's fun, but it makes it harder.
Yeah.
It makes it harder. You just have to get used to it because when you're playing it on a screen, I just fucking slam the brakes, no problem. I have no problem doing that. But in VR, it's like, whoa, okay, I have to take it easy here because this is fast. No, it was just crazy.
I've done some pretty stupid shit in a car.
Oh, me too.
so-
Look, I love driving. So if
I would
could
just think it would
afford-
be essentially driving, but I guess who's driving like a fucking Shelby GT or something like that.
if I could afford to do some racing and especially some rally racing, man, I'd totally do that shit. But it's expensive, so unless you have sponsors, it's just like, well, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
The fastest thing I've ever driven would have been like a 83 Porsche. No, I guess it wasn't 83. It was like a 87 Porsche.
Was it an i9 that I drove? I don't even remember. guess I would.
The thing is, it was a standard, so I was having to deal with a standard, and
Me was a good old automatic.
Car.
Just fucking slam the gas down. I was working.
It was the second car I ever drove that was a standard, and it was interesting. Good thing it wasn't my car.
Yeah, oh no! Once you get your mind wrapped around it, it's okay though. But yeah, I hate driving people's cars, and it's standard because if you fuck it up, it's not your car. It's just if you fuck it up, it's like, well, it's my car. It sucks, but at least I don't have to explain it to anybody. Yeah. Anyways,
she was with us when we were driving it, so that was the fun part. Mm-hmm. And she didn't know how to drive standard, but her uncle bought it, or I guess it was her uncle's old car, and he gave it to her. She didn't know how to drive standard, so
I learned in high school. So
a friend and I taught her. I don't know. We just drove it and kind of said, "You do this," and.
Honestly, like if I could buy the ideal car, it would probably have paddle shifters. That's the way I would go. Then you don't have to deal with a fucking clutch. It's just like it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and then that's it. That's all I played. Project Cars is cool. Like I like doing donuts in VR and then looking back and being like, "Hey, look, there's smoke behind me." That's pretty cool. And something else, doing the behind the car view in VR, kind of crazy too.
You'd be car surfing, essentially, is what I would think it would be.
Yep. And the coolest angle in VR is like on the hood. You're like,
oh god,
like it's crazy, but that's the best way to do it. Like if you really want to look around your corners and stuff, like it's pretty cool.
Holy fuck, that would be insane.
Yeah,
like that'd be such an adrenaline rush. Like you'd essentially be sitting on the hood of the car with your fucking chin over top of it going, oh my god.
Yeah, but if I could do that in real life, that's how I would do it.
Yeah. As soon as you tap something, you go flying off and your head explodes.
I mean, if it was safe to do it. I mean, that's what, like, if there was a seat right in the front, right in the middle, so I could see everything, that's right where I would be.
Well, wouldn't that be the point of driving a Ferrari or whatever? Because aren't those in the middle? Yeah.
There's a lot of cars that are in the middle.
But they also have like a V12 sitting right in front of that, or in the behind you, or
is it NASCAR in the middle?
I don't. I think they're off-centered, but they're not in the middle.
There's one of those racing leagues that's centered.
Formula One certainly is.
Well, yeah.
But Formula One, you're not actually
it's
driving
the whole car. You're right in the middle of the whole car.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. That's all I've played.
Yeah. So I've been gone for a bit, and I pretty much just played the exact same games over and over again. So Dishonored 2, I actually beat it. We'll see if I do a review on that. I'm probably going to, but I'm going through a second playthrough as the father this time, and it seems like Arcane fixed their initial fuck-ups because it seems to be running like 60 frames faster than it was. I'm at ultra settings at 1080p, and it's like it barely dips below 90 frames a second. But that's with a GTX 1070, so you'd expect something like that. But when I first got it, I was hard-pressed to get over 60 frames. So they definitely changed something to fix it. What that is and when that was, I have no fucking clue, but it's definitely much, much better.
I see.
And then StarCraft 2, obviously, I've been play that always and forever, apparently.
Imagine if they didn't fix Dishonored. They were just like, nah, that's how it is.
The thing is, they put out a patch that made it so that you'd have what do they call adaptive resolution, so that it would actually, like, this is what they do in console games, so they actually change the resolution as you're playing through it to keep it to a certain frame rate, which I was playing with that and on my old video cards to get it to run at like 20 frames a second. It looked like I was playing like, I don't even, like a PlayStation game or a fucking N64. It looked even probably worse than that. Like just resolution wise, I must have been playing on like a 320 by 180 or whatever the hell the resolution would be. Like the resolution was so utterly fucked up to get it to run at 20 frames a second. It was just horribly unplayable. And then even when I got the 1070, it still, like, it was really weird, and I could get it to look all right at like 50 frames a second. But yeah, like they have obviously fixed whatever that was, and it's working properly now. But why it took them 3 weeks to do, I don't really get that. Yeah, and then Fallout 4, I've been playing that with the 1070 just to... That game doesn't look bad when you actually have a good enough graphics card to put everything to Ultra and play it at 4K. So...
Good stuff.
Yeah, just running around killing. Yeah, I ran into 5 Deathclaws fighting a behemoth yesterday. Needless to say, I died fucking horribly. Yes, I did. If you don't know what a behemoth or a Deathclaw is, well, learn your shit.
It's StarCraft. I don't want, or Fallout. I don't need to learn Fallout either. I don't need to learn those two things.
Fallout and StarCraft are necessities to life.
Your life, maybe.
Everyone's life.
Wrestling is a Nesnata.
Oh God! If you're talking amateur wrestling, I'd probably agree with you. If you're talking,
yeah, but you don't get the big bucks there. Gotta get that big
you get
bucks.
nothing. It's amateur. You get nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless you win a gold medal, if you win a gold medal in Canada, you get like a pat on the back and saying good job.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it in the States, you get what, like $50,000 or something?
I don't know, something.
Yeah, you at least get
admiration.
something. Here you get jack shit. That's why Canadians wrestling team sucks.
Yeah,
balls.
well, Americans love them some wrestling compared to here.
Yeah, but that's for the same thing for everything, like snowboarders or skateboarders or whatever.
Yeah,
they get money for their medals. We don't.
Yeah, but I mean, there's
skateboard
competitions here and there's snowboard competitions here compared to.
But those are still professional.
Yeah, but compared to wrestling, there's less. And the thing about wrestling over there is like, you can get like huge scholarships in the States with wrestling. Here it's like,
Well, you don't get athletic scholarships in Canada.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, pretty. Like you might be able to. I'm pretty sure you don't get any athletic based anything in Canada. I know you get academic ones, but I'm pretty sure not from the school. You might be able to get, like, if you're a really good hockey player, you'd probably be going down to the States and getting a free ride anyways. But like I don't. To my knowledge,
NCAA.
Yeah.
NCAA anything. Go play some basketball, some hockey, some wrestling, whatever you want to do.
The fucking football players make
football
fucking good money.
And go to the States, get injured in college, and then maybe be fucked for life, and then maybe play in the CFL a couple seasons, and good stuff. Yeah. That's the life of a football player.
Yeah. Well, if you do make it, like the minimum payment for an NFL player is something like $3 million a year, is it not? So
I'm not that educated in what they make.
Yeah.
The only sport that I'm educated in pay is hockey.
Hockey's 1.3 or 1.4.
No. The fourth liners can make like $250,000 a year.
They can.
Yeah. They don't make that much. I could have
sworn there was a league minimum.
Oh, there's a league. There's no. There might be, but it's not that much. It might be like $1 million a year, but it's not that much. There's no.
Well, that's what I thought. It was like one. I thought it was like 1.3 or something.
No, I know some dudes definitely make less than $1 million a year.
Now, fair enough. Like it does depend on what your contract specifies. Maybe that's for so many. Yeah, if you're signed for a season,
that might be for a one-way player. Like if you're a two-way player, you can get sent back to the AHL.
Two-way. Yes, I would agree that because you are. It is a different setup.
Yeah, so those
guys. If you're only playing 3 games in the NHL and you were called up for 3 games, you're not getting paid that well.
Mm-hmm. And it depends. Some of those dudes play a lot, so I wonder what that minimum is, even for a two-way player.
Google.
That's gotta be
a two-way player. I'm sure is very.
No, it's got to be at least $500,000 because they're still professional. They're still playing in the AHL all the time. Like it's not like they're sitting around waiting for a call up. They're still fucking playing. It's got to be $500,000. Now, that's what I would assume because they can get called up anytime and be NHL players. All right, Let's go to
No,
the
no, okay. 575 is the minimum.
575. That sounds like all right to me.
Yeah.
82 games a year though. That's a lot of games.
That is for a one-way, not for a two-way. Two-way,
Right.
I'm sure, is very complicated the way it works because it
Yeah,
comes down
I
to how many games you play.
Yeah, I have no idea. All right. So the new releases this week. There's some stuff that we already talked about. Super
a
Mario. We already talked- no, well, there's a thing, but then there's a bunch of other weird things. Like Bastion is out again on the Xbox One for some reason.
Okay, with this being this great fucking game,
Yes.
but why the fuck are they doing this? Like, I have it on PC. I can just play it on my fucking PC. I don't really need
maybe
to,
there's like the two guys who haven't played it who has an Xbox One right now who will play it on this. Who knows?
Like, I don't.
Like if I'm just looking at the new releases right now. Like there's Retro City Rampage is out on Android for some reason.
Again, well, on Android. Okay.
Minecraft Story Mode.
That's actually a really good game for a tablet game to play on the bus.
Sure, it's all right. Minecraft Story Mode, the full thing. You can get the full thing right now because it's completely out. I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Guilty Gear Zerd on Revelator. That's on the PC.
Sorry. Guilty Gear what?
Zerd. It's an X.
Zerg. Okay,
Zerd.
I thought you said Zerg. I thought you said
No.
Zerg. I'm like, wait, what?
No.
There's somebody's gonna get sued.
No, so yeah, that's out on the PC. That's a fighting game that's been out for a while, but hey, it's out on the computer now. P-Cross is out on the 3DS eShop if you want to go get that. Motor Strike is out on PSN. That's a weird looking like combat vehicle game. I looked at
A Road Rage
videos of it.
ripoff.
Road
Or is it
Rage. What is that? What's Road Rage? Twisted Metal?
No.
What's
Road Rage. Well, you're on motorcycles.
Oh,
beating the
Road
shit out of
Rash.
each other.
Road Rash.
Oh.
No, this is
okay,
vehicles and there's weapons, and you're racing.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Excite Box, Excite Bots.
Bots. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
It's trick
Excite
racing
Box, I'm
for
like,
the
what?
Wii U. Weird. They're doing a new Excite thing. All right, there you go. That's the new releases.
Mm.
The news of the week. There's some stuff that happened, I suppose. Battlefield 1. There's an update that came out. There's a new map. It was released last week if you are a premium user, but now it's out to everyone. It's called Giant Shadow. I think it's set in France. And then there's let's see, let me change this video here. Set in France, and now there's a freaking big ship that collapsed. What are those called? The Hindenburg ship.
Zeppelins?
Yeah, the Zephyrs or whatever.
Zeppelin?
Zeppelins. Whatever the hell they're called. Zephyrs, Zeppelins. Those big things. That's what's casting the shadow on this map.
Okay. I thought, well, okay, fair enough. Like, isn't this the game they had playing at E3? Or the map, sorry? Or-
Maybe.
But then they're just releasing it now?
I guess it wasn't ready. Wasn't ready yet.
Well,
I don't know.
because I just remember they had one of those
Oh no, hey,
airplanes,
I remember too.
airships.
Yeah, and it was set in France. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So I don't know if it's just a different map or...
No, it
that
looks very
map.
similar. It
Yeah,
looks
okay.
very similar. There's a new weapon, which is a crossbow that launches a frag, and you can use that as a support class, and it's in your gadgets now. There's a shotgun for the assault classes have been rebalanced, so the range is a little bit less than it was before.
Okay.
There's a new mode called Standard Issue Rifles, which means all classes now have rifles. The Germans will get Gewehr 98, I guess, and the British Empire will have SMLEs Mark IIIs, and they'll only have iron sights. So that's that game mode.
Ooh.
Make it even more like World War One, I suppose.
Yeah.
These cheap ass guns.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, just like red dots on all that type of shit and like, when the hell that shit was developed would have
That's
been
awesome.
way the fuck. Like, if you put that on a World War One gun, I'm like, what the fuck?
And then
Like in World War One, I guess they would have had ocular scopes, but that
for
would have been
snipers,
really,
I guess.
yeah, right, and
Yeah.
that would have been about it.
And there's a spectator mode that looks pretty robust. Like it actually looks like you can do stuff with it. So there you go. And
Okay, that's cool.
there's 2 slots in this game that is meant for the tablet users, I guess, or was that Battlefield 3?
They've had that tablet stuff for a while.
Anyways, I know that those two
They're-
slots did not take over the 64 players. So maybe if you're a spectator, maybe you can take one of those two spots. So hopefully you don't take up one of the 64 spots. Because that's something
Yeah.
I hate about spectator modes. It's like, well, there you go. Now there's only 63 players that can play. Great. It was a real problem with Gears of War when they wanted to do tournaments. It's like, well, you got to do 3-on-3 instead.
Right.
And it had such
You
a
have to
great
have-
spectator mode. Anyways. All right. And that Kenny Ken TV from YouTube has this video here, and he's showing off a rebalance of the Martini Henry rifle. This thing pretty much killed people one shot easy before, and now it kind of does about 75 to 90 damage depending on where it lands. It used to fucking kill people just hitting people in the toe. Like, it was that powerful.
This is
But-
a Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he shows off for about, I guess this is like 5 or 10 minutes real time. He only got one kill with a first shot, and the rest he got, about 80 damage the whole time. So I think 80 is fine. Like, you can fucking get one shot off and then
Yeah.
do.
Well, if you put something into the back of somebody's head, they should die. I don't give a shit what gun you're really using. But
maybe that's a trade-off. Maybe they should make headshots deaths with this, but I don't know. I don't think he gets a kill with a headshot either.
he's also going pretty long range there.
Yeah,
like,
and-
these shots are probably 100
and
yards
right
or
now,
78.
Right now, he's not doing so great either. So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyways, this gun was pretty reliable. You got one shot kills with it pretty easy back in the day. Back in my
Back in
day.
Back in the day,
Back in the day of Battlefield 1.
a week ago.
Yeah. So there you go. I don't know what else to say about that, except to advance. So, Nintendo Switch presentation that was happening on January 12th. Well, that's a Thursday. That's the same. That's the same day as us. Anyways, it's going on at 11
How
p.m.
dare they?
11 p.m. That's late Eastern time.
Well, okay, but where is it being held?
I believe it's probably in Japan, right?
Yeah.
It's
Okay. So
Nintendo.
it would actually be then like
It would
Friday
be-
morning.
Yeah, it would be about noon there, I think, depending on where they
Yeah.
are.
Well, that's but it would be Friday
Yes,
and then
yes.
like in the morning ish.
Yes. I think it's that. I think that's noon Japan time. I could be wrong. Because I think the Philippines is
I think
exactly
they're
12
plus
hours.
10. I think they're plus 10.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Because it's Australia. New Zealand is like plus 12.
No, that's what I'm saying. The Philippines is right. It's right next to New Zealand. Those two is plus 12. Japan's on the other side of the Philippines, so that would be plus 13, I think.
No, it's the other way.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
It would be
Because
11
I want to say
or- it would be
Korea and
10 or
Japan
11.
is plus 13, but I could be wrong. I could be
New
wrong.
Zealand is the thing that's like divides the daytime. So, and New Zealand is the furthest thing.
Oh, I know, and the Philippines too. The Philippines is plus 12 too. Trust me, I know
Okay.
this.
But well, Seoul would definitely be like
What
it's plus 10.
time
Pretty sure.
is it in Japan now? And Google will answer this. It's 10:33, so they're plus 9 right now because of the freaking
No,
standard
we're on
time shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they're only plus 9.
yeah, they're
for-
plus 9 now. They're usually plus 10 when we're not on the standard time. When we're on daylight,
Yeah.
plus
Okay.
10.
Well, we shouldn't be on daylight savings. Is a fucking ancient, fucking 100-year ago thing.
in my opinion, we should just be on daylight all the time. Fuck standard time. Fuck standard time.
Okay.
We would have more daylight the whole time. God, fuck winter. I don't. Who cares? It's dark early all the time. Anyways, it doesn't matter if we go standard.
You have the same number of hours.
I know. We do have
whatever
the same
time.
amount. So give us more daylight during the summer. That's what I want. During the winter, who cares if the sun goes down at 3 or 4? It's the same difference. Same difference. All right. Anyways,
Then move further south. Then you don't have that problem.
well, I don't have that problem. I don't mind what time it gets dark here. I do like this. I do like the sun during the like it's like freaking 11 p.m. and it's still kind of sunny outside. That's pretty cool. I like that. I don't mind that. Anyways, so Crytek, their employees haven't been getting paid for a while now. A few months, they've been saying. It's not the first time. It's not the first time that they've been doing that. So, hey, hopefully they recover. They were able to recover before.
What is Crytek working on? Like, I have not... Like, they released Crysis 3, how, like, 2 or 3 years ago. What the fuck are they working on?
That iPhone game, and then... no, I don't, what was the last thing they released? Was it the Xbox One game, wasn't it? The launch title that was like the... Was it Vikings or... what the fuck was that game? I don't know, it was like Spartans, right? Something like that. Whatever the...
No, but that was on... Was that done by Crytek?
Yes,
I know
that was a
Crytek
Crytek
engine, but it was a Crytek game.
Yes.
Okay.
That was Crytek. I want to say that's the last thing they worked on. Do you remember when companies had engines and then people would license them? It was a good time.
Unreal still does that. That's all Unreal is really doing.
Kind of. Well, yeah, Unreal is, but they're not. I feel like Unreal 3 was more popular than 4. But hey, I could be wrong.
I think a lot of people got pissed off with them on 3 because it was so geared towards doing certain things that it didn't... Like, it just pissed people off. Modifying it was very difficult, apparently. That's why BioWare adjusted Mass Effect 2 and 3 so it would be easier to program or to create.
Yeah, well, so when Unreal Engine 3 first came out, they kind of... I feel like they rushed it because they just wanted to get Gears of War, the first one, out. And they in their contracts, it said they could not release a game until the engine is officially out. So they had to release the engine at the same time as the game. Yeah, there was a lot of people pissed off when it first initially came out. But now, like, Unreal Engine 3 is probably preferred in some cases over 4. Like, there's a lot of games that just modified 3 to the point where it looks better than 4.
Okay, so there's 2 games in there. So there's something called The Climb, and then Robinson The Journey.
Yeah, The Climb. I didn't know that was them. The Climb is a VR game.
Okay.
And then what's the other thing?
Robinson The Journey.
I no idea what that is. But yeah, no, The Climb is... there's a viral video.
Whoa, okay. That actually is a pretty cool shot. But
there's a viral video of a dude playing that game and falling over. You're pretty much just
rock
PlayStation
climbing. VR. So you're traveling to another planet and exploring another planet.
Oh, so it's
in
2
VR.
VR games. All right.
Yeah. Okay, I have seen this.
So there you go. That's why Crytek are doing bad, because they're doing VR things.
Well, the games that haven't even been released, so they'd be very expensive to
and it's
produce
VR. Oh my! Yeah. It's not cheap to do VR shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it would be very difficult and expensive because you're not knowing what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah,
so
like right now, it's all figuring it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing about playing VR right now. It's all figuring it out. A lot of it is fun, but it's all super tiny little things where it's bite size and you can play it in 5 minutes and be like, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it's because most of them are tech demos to figure out how this shit works. If you're making like full legit games for your test, like that's going to be hard.
We'll see, man. Anything where you're in a cockpit of any kind is the coolest thing in VR right now. Like, it's sad to say, but that's the truth. Anything where you're in a stationary cockpit moving around is fine. The second where you're playing a first-person shooter, it gets weird.
Well, it's certainly, like, with the controls and everything the way they are, it certainly is not. Like, if you're teleporting to have to move around the map, oh, God.
Like, even room scale stuff is great if you have a huge room, but if you have a room that's not that big, you're still teleporting around stuff, and it's still kind of weird, but, like, once you get used to it, you're used to it, but you need to get used to it. Like,
yeah.
You just point behind you and you just click. Like, once you get used to it.
I still think you need a... like, room scaling is a really, really cool thing, but I still think you need an analog stick to be able to walk around.
Oh well, that's what the Oculus Touch controllers have an analog stick.
They do?
Yeah, instead of the touch pad that the Vive has, it's a touch analog stick. So there's a little touch pad on the analog stick.
Can you actually move around with it?
Yeah, it's an analog stick, and it has also has a touch pad on it. So it's like a touch pad and an analog stick. So it does a bunch of shit. So like, let's say you want to shoot a gun with the Oculus, you literally just point your finger forward, and then there's a little sensor around it, so it knows you're pointing your finger forward, and you just touch the stick with your thumb, and then it shoots. It's pretty cool.
I don't particularly like the way that sounds, but okay.
That's pretty alright. It's pretty alright. Mm-hmm. And then when you want to push buttons in the game too, you just take your finger out and you just go like that, and then you push a button. Instead of just slamming your fucking controller against the wall accidentally or something, you can just maybe slam your finger against the wall. That'd be nice.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So
VR is all weird right now.
It's never not been weird, so. All right, our next news item here is Tekken. So there was a little bit that we didn't know if Tekken would have these bears in it or not. And hey, guess what? It has the bears in it.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. So.
Well, Tekken has a bear and a panda in it. It's always had those two characters pretty much since the start. I want to say they were in 1. I might be wrong, but they were definitely in 2. They were 100% in 2 and 3. I want to say maybe 1 was the serious Tekken, so maybe they didn't do that. 1 is probably the one I played the most of, so it's kind of crazy that I don't remember this, but hey, whatever. Even Street Fighter, if you turn Street Fighter on easy, you might still not be able to make it if you don't know what you're doing. All right. So Super Mario Run, it won't be playable offline. It's always on.
Yeah.
Always on. That's kind of stupid, but hey, way to go, Nintendo. They said it's for piracy reasons, which I believe is bullshit, because this is going to get pirated tomorrow.
Yeah.
If not right now. Because it literally came out like 3 hours ago. So it's fresh. It's on my phone right now. I played okay. I should have brought this up earlier. It's on my phone right now. I played a tutorial level, okay? And as soon as the tutorial level's done, it says downloading data. So it doesn't even download the full game when we download it from the store. Oh, so every fucking world is probably gonna go downloading next world. It's gonna be great. It's like Metal Gear Solid 4 all over again. I don't know why they did that. It's a stupid decision, but hey, whatever. I guess this would make it a little bit harder to pirate, actually. To get all that data and then fucking find a way to crack it and then get it all in there in one file. Might be a little bit harder, but they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Oh, I know.
Some crazy Russian guy will figure it out by tomorrow morning.
Russian, Chinese dude. It's all the same. Same difference. They're all up there. They're all up there in that hellhole.
Maybe it's some sort of hybrid of a Russian and a Chinese person mated and made this Chinese hybrid.
And then
Russian
some
guy
Bosnian came up in there too, and he was like, "Hey, can I join in?" And then they're like, they all got up in there having some fun, fucking with Nintendo. All right. So this is cool. The Forza Winter DLC is finally coming around. They teased it, and now
I thought that would have been out by now, but yeah.
I guess this is the release trailer. There it is. So yeah, this is the release trailer, and it looks pretty. That's what I gotta say about it. Forza, in terms of the actual mainline Forza, it kind of got stale by around like Forza 4. I fucking love Forza. Just by the time Forza 4 rolled around, it's just like, I got these tracks again, and maybe like a few more, and then the same cars and the same paint options. It just felt like the same thing over and over to me. And when Forza Horizon rolled around, it was like the perfect time for that game to roll around because it's so good. You can do so much stuff, and yeah, the rally racing looks like it could be cool in this with the winter stuff. But yeah, it looks really good, man. The way the snow forms under your tires, I still remember Sega Rally when they did that. The ground deforming for the first time in a video game. I was like, holy shit! This is like real life. But yeah. It's a racing game. There's not much else to say about it. It's racing. So for our last stuff of the night here, might as well talk about Watch Dogs first, but it's all a bunch of Ubisoft news items here. So there's a patch for Watch Dogs. Yeah, so on the PC, it gives you more realistic fog now. Because San Francisco is a pretty foggy place. There's a lot of people that live there. Hence a lot of pollution. It just happens. So yeah, so there you go. And you can replay missions on all the versions now. You can select difficulty levels. I guess it was maybe like an adaptive difficulty before, where if you played good, it just made it harder. I don't know. But either way, you can select difficulty levels in this game now. And a bunch of the hacking stuff that you can do online and all that goodness, that's most of the patches or the fixes in the patch. So if you want to go check that out, you can just go check that out on the Ubisoft website. It's up there. I don't know what else to say except that. So there you go. Just go check it out if you're into Watch Dogs 2. All right, so the next Ubisoft thing here has to do with the insider trading that we talked about a month ago-ish now.
Yeah, about there.
Yeah, so they got fined. So French stock market regulators have issued sanctions against 5 Ubisoft employees for insider trading, fining them a total of 1.2 million euros.
No way.
And then that's 1.26 million US. So Ubisoft is appealing the judgment. I guess the biggest name was the CEO. It's like Yannick, whatever the hell his last name is. Forget what is Yannick Guillermo, or is that what it is? It's whatever. His first name is Yannick.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow Ubisoft all the time.
Oh, me neither. But yeah, hey, whatever. That's weird. Weird news item all around.
Yeah.
The thing is that Ubisoft is publicly traded now. If they were a private company, do whatever the fuck you want with your stocks.
Well, but the thing is, if they're private, then there is no stocks.
Yeah, well, I guess so. You would have to give it back. So it's like, here you go, take my stocks. I own nothing.
No, but if it's a privately owned company, there are no stocks to be traded on the stock.
I guess so, but you could give like percentages and stuff.
Well, yeah, you could. Yeah, fair enough. You could, because sometimes they give to their employees or whatever percentages for putting out extra hours or something, whatever, for incentive. But yeah, the whole insider trader thing is a very weird thing. If you actually, especially if you're a CEO or whatever, you'd have to be retired for a long period of time to then actually legally be able to sell their shit.
Mm-hmm. And
which is just
video games is so weird. Like delays will cause stock to go down, but sometimes the delays actually end up being a positive for
the game itself.
Well, and the company itself too. Not just the game, the fucking company itself. So it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to be fucking.
Well, yeah, if they didn't delay it, then the game came out and bombed horribly.
Mm-hmm.
Then it would have gone down even more.
I'm pretty sure Watch Dogs 1 sold pretty alright.
Yeah, pretty sure it did.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm sure a lot of people who didn't even want that first game ended up with it somehow. Because you could get it with video cards, you could get it with a bunch of shit. That first game. All right, and then Ubisoft, they're looking for Canadian investors. This is to thwart off Vivendi's hostile takeover plans because now they own 30% of it. So Ubisoft wants Canadians to go buy some stock and be like, "We're on your side, Ubisoft. We'll support you."
Yeah, I don't see that. But the thing, there's a finite amount of stock to buy. Yes. Mm-hmm. So who are they buying it from?
Well, hey, Vivendi managed to get 30. So there's some stock out there.
Well, how much does Ubisoft actually have?
It's got to be 51, right?
No. If they own 51, then you can't do a hostile takeover.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Like, damn. Well, It's between 30 and 49.
Yeah, I don't. Because the thing, like, if you have more stock, then you're just a higher percentage seat on the board or whatever.
Dude, I wonder.
Yeah, I
I
don't
wonder
know.
what Vivendi's intentions are. That's the ultimate question. Like,
Well, because we just want to work with you guys.
that's what they're
Come
saying.
on!
That's what they're
I know.
saying.
Like, we like you. We just want to work with you.
Yep. Yeah. But like, it's so weird because, well, what the fuck does Ubisoft have that's so important? And like, it's not like Vivendi. Vivendi just got out. They just got out of the gaming shit. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is some weird shit. Because, yeah, again, like, mainly probably, I would assume, is because they're not going to be able to get into EA. Because EA is too likely smart to actually release 51% of their, like, they have their board member, unless they can, like, convince their board members to sell stock or whatever, which is possible, but. And then, like, Activision Blizzard or whatever the fuck they're called now, I don't know what, like, the guy of Blizzard owns, like, 60% of everything, so he's just going to tell everyone to go fuck themselves.
Bobby Kotick is like the richest gaming CEO in the world. He's like number 3 in the US or something now. He's like I think he's in the top 5 of just CEOs in the US. It's fucking insane.
And then I guess Bethesda would be a bit smaller than Ubisoft, but they're getting a lot larger. But again, like, I don't exactly know how that shit's because I don't know exactly what ZeniMax is. To then Bethesda also has like a number of ZeniMax is the parent company, but there's also brother sister companies of all sorts of shit for Bethesda. They got some wacky shit going on there.
And every second Fallout game is made by what's that studio?
Well, there's only been 3 released, so there hasn't been anything.
Who made New Vegas?
Obsidian.
Yeah, there you go. The
I'm
RPG guys.
I'm hoping Obsidian is making a game for Fallout, but I don't know if they are. There hasn't been anything.
To me, they would seem to be the most likely to change up something about it, because Fallout 4 just seems like more Fallout.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, hey, sure.
No, well, the thing is, if you really break it down, Fallout 4 is drastically different than Fallout 3.
Oh, hey, I've played both. I know. The shooting is better in Fallout 4. It's better. But still.
But even just the way the world is, to the verticality of Fallout 4 is something you never had in Fallout 3. Like, just like if you go into downtown, if you got a jump pack power armor, man, you can get to some fucked up weird places and do some fucked up weird shit. Like, that's just something you never had in Fallout 3 or New Vegas. They kind of, like, you could go out and jump off the tower in New Vegas. And that was the biggest thing, is you had that one building you could go up on. But in Fallout 4, right, it's all over the place. And like, that verticality is something that's never been in a Fallout game. So there's people that didn't quite understand it, that was bitching that it's the same thing.
Yeah,
but
to me, with those kind of games, it's even Borderlands has this problem to me. It's just everything is cool until I actually fucking play it. Then I get to play it, I'm just like, I don't really like how this moves.
Well,
I don't really like how this shoots, and like, it's like 60% of the game. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, like Borderlands again is just throw as many fucking enemies at you as you can. With if you then have people with you, then they just make them even harder.
Like to me, Destiny is like Borderlands, just with better shooting. Like that, and it's just if you could combine those two games together, I'd be totally down, because Borderlands is the cooler of the two, but Destiny is the better playing of the two.
Okay, now here's the kick shitter of your thing of, I don't exactly know what the fuck you're talking about saying the shooting's bad in Borderlands, because I played it on the PC.
No, it just
No, I understand. No. Controlling of what Gearbox would have done, I have no fucking clue. On the PC, it was as good as any fucking first-person shooter for the most part.
Sure. But shooting to me is more than just controls. The reason I like Battlefield so much It's because of the way everything feels. The recoil feels,
again,
the sound feels, just the
well,
way diving
you're talking
on the ground
recoil
feels.
and all that type of shit. Because you're talking in Borderlands, it's all fucking crazy weird weapons, so they're not realistic whatsoever. You're talking Battlefield, then yeah, they're talking about trying to make it as realistic as possible until you start adding in frag shotgun shells that you can then empty a whole load in a realistic half a second, which is probably fairly realistic for some guns that are shotgun automatics that can just fucking pump through an entire mag in half a second or 2 seconds or what the hell ever. But you wouldn't normally have a frag shell or shell that if you're doing that from, like, I just remember in Battlefield 3 that there was some, like, they had that the USAS whatever that they gave it frag, and then people were just fucking whoring that shit, and they just emptied a whole load into you as you turned the corner, and you just couldn't do anything about it because it was frag, so it would even explode to hurt you even more.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's pretty cool. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, that's the thing, is it is realistic to a point of if you were to do that, you would fucking die or whatever, but it then doesn't make a fun game because everyone's just doing the exact same build. In Borderlands, it's all co-op anyway, so there's no real competitive play.
Just to that point real quick, like with the frag stuff, is to me it got to a point to Battlefield and Call of Duty that I just played hardcore all the time because I just got pissed off with that shit anyway. So hey, why not just do pretty much one hit kills all the time?
But yeah, that's also the other, like, you're talking about balancing guns that are meant to kill people as easily and as efficient as fucking possible.
There's something about, like, the numbers even popping off on Borderlands. It just doesn't feel as satisfying as it did in Destiny. There's something about the gameplay and in Destiny and Bungie. They just know. I don't know. It's weird. And but the Bungie sounds aren't that amazing. They're okay. It's like, you know, they sound all right. It's nothing like Battlefield, but just the way that the gameplay is in Bungie games.
But they're two very different games.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
But
for sure,
because the thing in Borderlands, everything's a bullet sponge.
Yep.
And in Destiny, you're supposed to try to get, like, especially in the raids or whatever, you're supposed to get through it as quick as possible. So yes, there are bullet sponge points, but the main minions are just essentially there for fodder, that they're there to try to sneak up behind you. You got to look at where you're going or whatever. In Borderlands, everything is a fucking bullet sponge.
Yeah. All right. Hey, talk about your news item. I'm assuming you added this.
Yeah. Just some tech news, since we are somewhat of a gaming tech show type thing. AMD had a media day on Tuesday the 13th, that they called New Horizon. Now they were talking about their flagship processor, which I'll talk about in a little. So it was their flagship processor, which is supposed to go up against Intel's 6900K, which is their 8-core, 16-thread CPU. So AMD is going on about all this stuff. They reveal that it's no longer going to be called Zen. It's going to be called Ryzen, because it's Horizon. It's a new Horizon with Zen of being balanced between power and efficiency. Yeah. So they're calling their new chipset, I think is what it's going with, is that it's Ryzen, which, with what they're talking about, made sense, sure. They put on a couple of demos indicating that they're surpassing a turbo boosted 6900K Intel chip at just a stock 3.4 gigahertz speed on their end, which all in all is actually pretty impressive. The big thing is they didn't say anything about price. Now, the 6900K is $1,100 American. Fucking, like, horribly expensive for just a fucking processor.
Yeah, but I mean, processors, man, are pretty good nowadays. I mean,
yeah, I know, but
can't scoff at that. It's pretty valuable. It's like gold.
Okay. Which is probably 20 to 25% overpriced from what people are actually thinking, which is then where they're thinking this new Ryzen CPU will come in probably around even under that, at around $600 American. A lot of people are guessing. If they do, so they're then talking like a $500 price difference on this chip. So that's for the same quality essentially, which would be pretty ridiculous. But they didn't give a time window for release outside of Q1, which Q1 is anywhere between January 1st and March 20th or something like that. So they gave a huge opening of like, okay, we will release this soon-ish. And then, yeah, they didn't release price on this particular chip or release any information on their full product line of how they're going to try to compete with Intel, which
That's
is
so
something
weird,
I was
man.
more interested in.
They've been talking about this forever.
Ever, yeah.
So
Now, the shit that they're putting out is fairly impressive. Now, they're comparing this to a Broadwell E chip, which is an older chip than what Skylake is, and Kaby Lake's right around the fucking corner for the most part. So, yes, what they're showing is very impressive, but relative to what Intel's going to be putting out, it still likely will be slightly behind, just not anywhere near as what behind the pile driver cores are now, because they're obviously obsolete. They're just like really cheap things at this point in time. Like I have one, you have one. They work, but they're nowhere near as efficient and
I got this thing so long
powerful.
ago too. So
Yeah. Mine's a newer version of your architecture, but it's the same architecture, just upgraded, if that's the right word. Now, another interesting thing is at the very end of this, they called out their new Vega line of GPUs and had a little demo of a Battlefront new DLC that they had running at 4K at 60 plus frames a second, which would put it above a 1080 card, likely. Maybe if you're overclocking your 1080, it would be somewhere in around there. Again, didn't give time window of release, didn't give price, didn't give anything. So the thing could be $1,400 and be running at the same thing as a 1080. You don't fucking know. So it's just like they're just kind of like teasing way too much without actually giving any real information. That's pretty much my thoughts on that. Of just AMD needs to actually give us something, like an actual date, an actual price, something, opposed to
anything.
Yeah, they're just kind of going like, "Ooh, I got some nice titties. I got some nice titties. I'm not gonna let you see them, but I got some nice titties.
We've got some graphs here."
Yeah. Well, they didn't show any graphs. Everything they had was live, so they're showing you live performance of what's actually happening, which is cool. But the thing is, it could be $1,000 processor or it could be $500 processor. We have no fucking clue. If it's $1,000, it's really not that fucking cool. If it's $500, that's fucking amazing. But what the fuck is it?
Yep. Everything you said, I can't disagree or anything. It's pretty spot on.
It's just like, yeah, we got some nice titties, but we're not going to let you see them.
Well, then how do we know?
Yeah, exactly. Are they fake? Are they real? Are they natural? Like, I have no fucking clue. I need to know.
I need to know before I go into that strip club. God, I just don't walk into any random strip club. Jeez.
They gotta be naturals, man. All fucking natural. Double D's, bitch. But yeah, like it was
good C cups are right too.
Yeah. It was just like a horrible tease, and it was just like I was hoping they would give at least a full product line. Like I understand price, I understand release dates, but a full product line would have been nice. Because there's been a lot of graphs and shit online that's all rumors or this or that kind of lay out, but there was nothing confirmed. And I was hoping they would confirm a product line.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saving these last 2 months to buy a computer maybe in about 2 months. I have not planned out anything. The only thing I'm planning out is the saving money part.
Yeah.
Once it starts to actually get to think about everything, then that's when I'm gonna actually start buying parts. But
for the most part, like RAM and hard drive would be really the only two things that make any sense to buy right now. Like to know, like, okay, yeah, these would be fine. Like CPU, no fucking clue. Motherboard, well, if you're going with AMD, then the motherboards aren't even fucking out yet. So how the hell does that work?
Oh yeah, I know that. That's why I'm saving. That's why I'm not even thinking about anything.
Yeah, I know. Like it's just what the fuck. And there is all this anticipation on what AMD's doing, and everyone's like hoping that this is going to shut Intel up and like make them drop their fucking prices, so we don't have to pay fucking $2,000 for a 10 core. And because like the flagship Intel processor is $1,750 American. It's a 10 core, 20 thread, 3.2 gigahertz to a 3.4 or something like that.
1,700.
Like $1,750 American.
Dude, at that point, you almost might as well just get a server rack and just rack a bunch of computers up together and just fucking.
Well, slightly different things. Servers are typically lower hertage. They're not.
I guess if you're playing games, that won't really help you.
Right, exactly. And then even for certain things like Photoshop, I don't really know too much, but Premiere really likes a higher hertage. So if you have a 3 gigahertz to a 4 gigahertz, it will much prefer the 4 gigahertz because it doesn't use all the threads when it's working. When you're rendering, it's slightly different, but when you're working, it really likes a high megahertz or gigahertz.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is that you can get some pretty nice Xeon chips for far less than that $1,700, and they would do nearly the same thing. Like for $1,200, I think you can get a comparable chip. But the thing is, you can't overclock the Xeon. You can overclock the $1,750 one. But just once you convert that into Canadian or Australian, you're talking like it's fucking $2,400 or something like that just for the processor. And to put that processor into a board, you're typically spending $400 on a board. So you're talking like almost $3,000 before you even start getting fucking RAM or anything like that.
Yep. And then let's say you want to build a VR rig that's up to par and can play everything VR super crazy. It's not. It's not. It's not. But if you want to run everything at 100, it is. Because even when
it would be playing those games and then wanting to stream them is where shit really would hit the fan. Is that you'd need to start putting in some serious amounts of money.
Oh, no. Well, if you want to stream it, fucking get a second computer.
Yeah, but even then you have to buy a good capture card to be able to do it, and then you're then spending extra money.
You don't need that good of a capture card. If it has an HDMI port on it, it's all good.
Well, you'd want to do 1080p.
Do you? I think 720 is all right. Like you want a card that does 1080p, but right now 720p is all right, man.
And the thing, like, there's a lot of people are going crazy on the streaming thing and trying to do 1080p at 60 frames and all this crap, which
is stupid. Because
fucking insane.
I would say 20% of the people in North America right now can't do it. Can't do that. They can't do that.
I would think that percentage would even be higher. Because there'd be a lot of
sorry. I meant 20% that can do that or whatever. Yeah. Okay. That's what I meant. Maybe. That's what I meant.
I'd say it'd probably be somewhere around 50-50, but
yeah, because if you live in a city, you're great. Like, if you live in a city, you're fine.
Yeah. No, it does.
Well,
especially
and it depends if you want to spend the money.
In the U.S. is very different than what it is here.
Dude, it really depends if you want to spend the money too. That's another thing.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of people that get 10 megabits down and they're fine with that. They're like, oh, fucking Netflix works fine, great. That's all I need. So it's
because and by the hand, like I don't think you can get 4K Netflix at that if you were to go out and buy a 4K TV.
Exactly. 1080p 60 on YouTube, I think, is 25 megabits. I think. It's close to that.
There's even a fucked up thing of like where that guy is streaming from to where I'm receiving it is going through hubs and shit. So there could be a choke point somewhere in there that might not quite be able to handle it or is overtaxed because of something else is going on and is just dying because of it.
Oh, you know what? I might be thinking about 4K. 1080p 60. Okay, so They
Still a
recommend
lot,
for
that.
720p 60. They recommend. I think it's 8 megabits. So yeah, it's pretty high. It's pretty high.
Sorry, that was 720
P 60 frames.
60 frame. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a lot.
So that would be.
When I watch 4K,
I'd probably say 20 would probably be pretty close to what you.
Yeah, when I watch 4K videos on YouTube, my computer struggles. So not my internet. My internet's fine, but my computer is like, whoa.
No, well, your video card's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. That's the show. We're gonna end it right there.
Yeah.
But my piece of shit computer survived this whole show.
It did.
No, but let me tell you why. It's because I reconfigured how I do the show. Not only does my computer survive now, I made it a million times easier on myself to set up the show.
Yeah.
It's like one button click. That's it.
Nice.
Like show start. I just need to open Winamp. That's about it. For all these audio cues. Like this outro song that's playing right now.
Ooh, fancy.
This outro song that we're going to replace soon.
Oh.
So for the first time in history, we're going to have a new intro song and a new outro song. And the main reason is because we're getting these songs are getting flagged on YouTube. I'm just getting tired of it. I'd rather not deal with it.
They're getting. Okay.
Yeah, so they signed with the new.
You just have a handshake with
Well,
the guys.
yes, I do have a handshake with the guys. I emailed them, a long time ago, and they were cool with it. But they're actually signed with a label now, so.
Okay, yeah. No, that label could be complete douchebags because.
So yeah.
Yep.
What's gonna happen?
Could be. I'm not saying they are. They could be.
Hey, they got to get paid somehow. Everyone, the label and the band. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
If they got to go out on our 12 views on YouTube, go for it. Go for it. But no, I would rather just get new music anyways because we've been using this forever.
Holy crap, yeah.
I still like the music. They're still one of my favorite bands, but hey, time for new shit.
Well, yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, alright. So we'll see you guys next week. Megasearcher.com, go visit that website. Sprawl and Brawl is live next if you're tuning in live. If not, hey, like I said, Megasearcher.com. It's all there. See ya.
See ya.